And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we get ready for race number 23 of the second season of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. This is the fourth to last race of the regular season before we end up having our chase for the championship begin. So it's going to be a very interesting race here. Caution free at Yas Marina Circuit here in Abu Dhabi. 13 laps of racing. And the drivers you see on the front row, Anthony McCurry on the pole, Matthew Dallio in second. They were the only two drivers in a very crazy knockout qualifying session to even complete a lap time that allowed them to start on the front row. Everybody else from Brandon Gonzalez on back had to rely on their time from round 2 of qualifying. And this is definitely going to be a very interesting race too, in the fact that with it being caution-free, track position could play a huge factor into who's going to be in contention for this win. Pit strategy could also come into play. 13 laps, and it takes them a long time to get around this racetrack. It takes them over a minute, almost a minute and a quarter, or 2 minutes and a quarter, I should say, to get around this racetrack. So in the process, a lot of fuel being used up. We'll have to see if they can make it on one stop or not. Not really sure what the fuel window is for these drivers at this particular racetrack. Not a whole lot of elevation changes. The track pretty much flat, which can be a blessing or a curse for some drivers. Some drivers like the banking at road courses to be able to make the turn, but we'll see what's going to be happening here in whichever driver's preference it is. Also noticed here, Matthew Dallio starting on the pole, or not on the pole, but on the outside of the front rope. This is the first race, and maybe the first time this whole season, that all 4 of the Strigley Motorsports cars will be taking a green flag together. Dallio and Austin Mongold both ended up making this race, along with their 2 chartered rides of Joseph Strigley and Emmanuel Hartnett. So, great team effort there for the Strigley Motorsports cars. Now there is a standing start grid and a start-finish line right here, but this is not where our start-finish line is. Our start-finish line is a little bit further down. As you can see over on the right side of your screen, you can see Joshua Sekuli, Kyle Keith, they're still within striking distance of getting up into the top 30 in the point standings, but as you can see with the gap, they really still need a breakout race, and they need drivers ahead of them in the points to struggle here today. Unfortunately for them, neither one of them starting very close up to the front. Kyle Keith, starting at the rear of the field, was unable to even get a lap time in knockout qualifying. We'll have to see how Anthony McCurry is going to do here on this start, as he will bring them through right here, one of the toughest portions of the course. That area right there played a big factor in the outcome of last year's winner, which I'm trying to remember who it was, and it's not really coming to me, but maybe I'll think of it. And if a driver can go to victory lane here that has not won yet this season, that is inside the top 30 in points, that could leave us with 16 drivers in the chase for the championship with a win right now, and make it very interesting in the next upcoming 3 races. Green flags out. We're underway here at Yas Marina Circuit, and already they're going 3 and 4 wide. Look at John Arndt way up there on the high side. Oh, this is going to be death. If they make it through this corner without dying, I will be shocked. Henderson way up high. Where did John Arndt go? He's way off track, but he's keeping it together. Oh my goodness me, look at this, they're 3 wide all over the place. Meanwhile, McCurry out in front, Dallio second, Brandon Gonzalez third, and then all heck's breaking loose behind him from Flickinger on back. There's Garrett Sidner, Madden, Henderson, Cars, and this is where they're going to have to start settling things out. Oh, brother. They're still 3 wide here. This is for the 5th position. Henderson has to back out as he did not get a very good corner there. Now it's Madden and Sidner battling, and they're still 3 and 4 wide behind them. Let's jump back to all that mayhem. Saw Michael Norman in the middle of all of it. Rubbing doors. Last week's winner, Charles Sanford, almost gets forced into Dylan Young. Emmanuel Hartnett there in the mix. Joshua Sekuli's there. just behind Dylan Pote. Now they'll settle that one out, it looks like. Oh, someone ran into the back of somebody up there. That might have been Hudson into the back of somebody. Oh, they're 5 wide again. This time, Arndt, Alvarez, McIntosh, Minobi, and I think that was Mongol. Holy cow, they are racing tooth and nail back here. Every position counts. There's some drivers damaged, some drivers not. Galligan's got rear end damage. Voiles with some hood damage. I saw some damage on Baskinger, some damage on Shelton. Oh, they are just beating and banging and trying the best they can here to get up towards the front. There's Tim Walsh. There's Joseph Srigley. Oh, a lot of front-end damage on Joshua Sekuli in the 47, and the battle for the lead is on. Brandon Gonzalez. Big run there on the high side out of that corner. Told you that was going to be the spot where you have to watch for moves to be made, and Gonzalez is all over the back bumper of his good buddy Anthony McCrory. Not going to be able to do it this time. McCrory hangs on to the lead, at least for now. Gonzalez in second, Dalio there in third, Flickinger in fourth, and Aaron Henderson now in fifth. As McCrory crosses the line, 1 lap completed after all that just went on. Let's jump back here real quick, see if there's any battling going on. This is for the 6th position. Noah Cars has it, William Brock wants it, but is there any more of that crazy 3 wide racing going on is what I want to know. Doesn't look like it. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. Boy, Voiles has got a lot of damage. I'm surprised he didn't come to pit road. A couple of drivers have hit pit road. Joshua Michaels, Joshua Sekuli, Charles Sanford on pit road. Oh, and James Richardson is smoking. Now, that may be it for the 11 cars day. And indeed it will be the end of his day. Baskinger on pit road as well, along with his teammate Zachary Fitzwater. Now, the good news for these drivers is, if other drivers run into trouble, they'll be able to pick up some spots here. But they more than likely will not fall a lap down. I would be very surprised if they do. McCrory has checked out from Brandon Gonzalez, as we'll look and see 2 drivers out of the race at this point. Jessica Shelton mentioned that she had damage. Well, apparently that was pretty significant damage. She's out of the race, as is James Richardson, 2 former winners this season. Now behind the wall and just past the completion of lap 1. Now Gonzalez has been able to open up some distance between himself and Matthew Dalio, who's in a fight now for 3rd with Zach Flickinger. Flickinger hounding the AOL Chevrolet. Might make a move here in this corner, takes a peek. Can't do it yet, tries again. He's alongside the right rear quarter panel. Some contact right there between the 2 of them. And Flickinger tries to get the run on the high side. He'll have the preferred line coming down to this corner. Is he still alongside? He is, and I think this may be a swap for 3rd place. Right here, if he can clear Dalio. Can't do it this time. Can he do it into this corner? Dalio goes wide. Flickinger off the corner will take 3rd place. Meanwhile, McCrory has opened up the distance between himself and 2nd place Brandon Gonzalez, 1.84 between the Audi A5 and the Mitsubishi Lancer. A couple of foreign manufacturers out in front. Meanwhile, as we jump back here, battle is on for the 4th position. Matthew Dalio steadily dropping back. Now Aaron Henderson trying to move into the 4th spot. And Noah Cars is starting to reel in these 2. Maybe make it a 3-man fight for position. Henderson moves on by. He'll take 4th. Noah Cars now looking for 5th off the 30 car. Looks like he'll have to wait a couple of turns. There's Ryan Madden. Right now in the 7th spot. William Brock runs in 8th. 9th is Dallas McIntosh. Completing your top 10 is John Art in the 24. And it's Leon Alvarez, Nathan Hudson, Kat Tellier, Dylan Young in 14th, and 15th now Austin Mongol. Minobi in 16th after some contact there with Mongol. Got Mongol loose. And Mongol nearly spun it, saves it though, but loses a couple positions. 1 to Minobi and 1 to Sean Galligan, who just now jumped up, I believe, to the want to say the 15th position, getting by Marina. Kyle Matthews, Dylan Pote, former winners this season, side by side. That would, I believe, be a battle for 19th place. Michael Norman starting to close in. Pote'd off track. Spun it there in that corner, slaps the wall. Gets the car refired. Somebody else just did it too. It was Tim Walsh. So that corner apparently proving to be an issue for drivers. There is Sanford, still running. Picked up his 3rd win of the year last week at Salem. Not having the best of runs here this week. Jake Baskinger, another former winner, right now scored 37th. Sanford was 36th. Garrett Sidner scored 32nd place. I think he's still on the lead lap. Daniel Voiles there, along with Zachary Fitzwater, Joshua Michaels. All these drivers have been to pit road, I believe. Joshua Sekuli there in 40th. This is not going to help him in his quest to get into the top 30 in points. And there is McCrory, who on the third lap, I should say, ran a 2:13.996, similar to a qualifying lap, and opened about a 10th between himself and Brandon Gonzalez. Flickinger still in 3rd, Henderson 4th, 5th place, Noah Carson. The driver who's really lost a ton of spots is Matthew Daly, who's now lost a spot to William Brock and Dallas McIntosh. He was up in the 3rd position. He has dropped now back to the 9th spot. Move back up towards the front. Brandon Gonzalez slowly trying to set his sights on Anthony McCrory in the 61. Both are former winners this season. Both would love to be able to pick up a 2nd win this year. Let's document and see if anybody else has retired from the race. No, the only 2 drivers at this point out of the race are still James Richardson and Jessica Shelton. Shelton winning at Darlington earlier on this season. I'm trying to remember where Richardson won. As they come through this portion of the track, let's just follow these drivers through the field. See if anybody else has difficulty with this turn. Madden slides a little bit, keeps it going. Tellier takes it a bit wide. That one spot right there has been problems for both Dylan Pote and Tim Walsh, as we saw. Here comes Minobi. Takes it through the corner. This is where you could see somebody have problems. In a big group of cars. Walsh gets through it this time. Baker nearly goes up and gets it. And looks like everybody got through that turn all right. There's Fitzwater and Sidner in a battle. There's Poteet. I think he came to pit road to get his damage repaired. He's now way back in the field. And McCrory crosses the line. How about we take a lap with the 61 car? See what he sees around this racetrack. Goes down to 1st gear right there. Still in 1st gear. Back up through the gauges. It's up to 3rd gear at this point. 160 miles per hour. Now up to 4th gear. 175. Puts it down to 3rd gear, down into 2nd, all the way down to 1st gear. And back up through the throttle again. Brings it back down. This time only to 2nd gear, does not go to 1st gear. Slides his way through. That was that one turn right there where we've seen drivers slide up into the wall. Gets off onto the rumble strips just a bit there. Back up through the gears again. No lift through that corner. Right here, takes the turn just a bit wide. Went to the left side of the rumble strips. That might lose him some advantage ground on Brandon Gonzalez. We'll see. And then through here. That's the entrance to pit road right there on the right side. And he'll come around here to the start-finish line just under this bridge. So that's a lap with the leader, Anthony McCurry, who just had his lead cut down by 3/10, courtesy of Brandon Gonzalez. So Brandon is still there within striking distance. If McCurry makes a mistake, Henderson has now jumped to third. Flickinger falls back to fourth, with Noah Kars hanging tough in fifth. 6th, 7th, and 8th, Ryan Madden, Dallas McIntosh, William Brock. Matthew Daly was falling back to 9th, but still in the top 10, and John Arndt right now runs in the 10th spot. Let's give you a full field rundown the way they cross the line. In 11th is Kat Tellier, 12th Leon Alvarez. Nathan Hudson runs in 13th, 14th is Dylan Young, 15th place Austin Mongold, 16th Grayson Acavito. Kyle Keith is up to 17th, 18th Cody Lamas, 19th Michael Norman, and JT Bryant completes the top 20. 21st is Joseph Srigley, 22nd Levi McIntyre, 23rd Chris Dodd. 24th is Kyle Matthews, 25th Marie Minobi. 26th place is Charles Sanford, still on the lead lap. 27th Jake Baskinger. 28th is Sean Galligan, who's just now coming off pit road. Trent Dunham right now scored 29th. I think he'll take 28th from Galligan. We'll see. Yes, he will. 30th place Emmanuel Hartnett, who just now made a pit stop as well in the 97. And then I believe 30th would be Benjamin Miles. I'm not really sure who's 30th. Let's see what the scoring monitor tells us. 30th is Emmanuel Hartnett. 31st, Benjamin Miles. 32nd, Dylan Pote. 33rd, Garrett Sidner. 34th place is Daniel Voiles. 35th, Cole Baker. 36th, Carson Scott. 37th, Joshua Michaels. 38th, Tim Walsh. 39th, Zachary Fitzwater. They're all in the lead lap. 40th, a lap down, is Joshua Sekuli, and two drivers out of the race, James Richardson and Jessica Shelton. Now, I was just about to ask, was the pit stops by Hartnett and Galligan and Miles, were those regularly scheduled pit stops? The case and point made right there as the two leaders, McCurry and Brandon Gonzalez, have brought their cars now to pit road for what will be a green flag pit stop. Is anybody risking and staying out? Henderson's in, Flickinger's in, Noah Kars. I don't see anybody risking and staying out an extra lap here. Mongold's coming in, Acavito, Kyle Keith, they're all coming in. So let's jump back to McCurry and see if maybe Brandon Gonzalez's team can beat him off pit road. Nope, McCurry's down and away. Gonzalez is going to follow him out though. So McCurry's team, very good pit stop for him. It'll more than likely get him out with the lead. The question is, how far ahead of Brandon Gonzalez will he be? Gonzalez right there. Here comes Flickinger. He picked up a spot off of pit road, getting by Aaron Henderson. So did Noah Kars. So did Matthew Dallio. Where's the 6? Wow, he lost a lot of positions on pit road. Lost 3 spots. He'll come out in 6th. John Arndt comes out 7th, 8th Alvarez, 9th Tellier, and Dallas McIntosh looks like he'll come out in the 10th position. So nobody risked it. Everybody came to pit road that time of the leaders. Now the question is, can they make it the rest of the way? Because they came to pit road at the completion of lap 6 going on to lap 7. Which means they might not be able to make it the rest of the way. They either did one of two things. Either they were running dry, came to pit road, or they made the pit stop knowing they can make it the rest of the way. Now, unfortunately, we do not have access to being inside these drivers' heads in the communications with their pit crews. We're not able to access the radios. We do not know what is going on, what the strategy is. So we are left up here in the booth to wonder, can these drivers make it to the checkered flag on what they have in the tank right now? We will soon find out. If they came to pit road coming to lap 7, they will be on fumes coming to the checkered flag. That is if they were on fumes coming to pit road at the completion of lap 6. So, the question will be answered coming to the white flag. If they do not come to pit road, we will know that they came to pit road, got the fuel necessary to make it the rest of the way. But if they could only make it to the completion of lap 6 on 1 tank of fuel, that means that we'll be seeing them maybe making a second and final pit stop on the completion of lap 12 coming to the white flag. Got a ways before we'll be finding that out though. Lap 8 now put on the board, lap 7 completed. That gives us a total of 6 laps to go here at Marina circuit. 1.2 the difference between Anthony McCurry and Brandon Gonzalez. Zach Flickinger is in 3rd. 4th Noah Cars, 5th Ryan Madden. Henderson slipped back to 6th. John Arndt 7th. 8th Matthew Dalio. 9th place Leon Alvarez. Kat Tellier will complete the top 10. Dylan Young runs 11th. Dallas McIntosh 12th. Grayson Acavito 13th. 14th Austin Mongold. 15th for Michael Norman. 16th is Kyle Keith. Nathan Hudson 17th. 18th JT Bryant. 19th is Sean Galligan, who we saw come to pit road a lap earlier than the leaders. So if McCrory is about a half lap short, then Galligan's going to be about a lap and a half short. He's 19th, and William Brock is 20th. Dylan Poteet 21st. 22nd Chris Dodd. 23rd Cody Lamas. 25th, or 24th rather, will be Joseph Strigley, and 25th is Benjamin Miles. Then 26th Marie Minobi. 27th Levi McIntyre. 28th Kyle Matthews. 29th Tim Walsh, and completing your top 30 is Carson Scott. Saw that Levi McIntyre has some front end damage, as does Kyle Matthews, which leads me to wonder if these three are battling amongst each other pretty hard. So might be a good idea to keep the camera on them for just a moment, see if anything develops. Side by side between two former winners, Matthews and McIntyre, and Matthews with the better straightaway speed. Probably the car a little bit more aerodynamic. Well, gets a shove right there from Levi McIntyre going into that corner. So yeah, good thing we're keeping the camera on these two. These two are in a pretty hook and crook battle. It's for the 27th position, but still. Well, we actually, I think, have a battle up here as well. Benjamin Miles trying to fight his way back up through the field. Right now scored in 25th. Trying to take a spot away from Joseph Srigley. Not successful. Cody Lamas side by side with Sean Galligan. That's for, oh, contact right there. Yikes. That's for, I believe, the 22nd position. No, it's actually for 19th. Nope, it actually isn't. Galligan's losing some spots. That was, I believe, for 23rd. Michael Norman worked his way by Kyle Keith and Austin Mongold. He's now up to 14th. Good run for the 3 car. Dylan Young trying to crack into the top 10, trying to reel in rookie Matthew Dalio. Ooh, this should be a good battle up here. From 4th on back, Noah Cars, Ryan Madden, Aaron Henderson, John Arndt, and Kat Tellier. That's 4th on back through 8th. Also want to make mention that the gap between Anthony McCurry and Brandon Gonzalez is closing up again. Oh, wow, it is closing up. As a matter of fact, Zach Flickinger may end up being a factor in this too. He's starting to reel in the top 2, so it ain't over. Could we have a repeat of Lime Rock last year, do you think? McCurry versus Flickinger? Oh boy, Brandon Gonzalez finding the way around this racetrack. Slid a little through that corner. But he is slowly making up ground on McCurry. Now, catching McCurry is one thing, but passing him is another. We're getting to that portion of track, too, where McCurry made a little bit of a mistake when we were on our ride-around lap with him. Let's see what he does. Goes to the left side of the rumble strip, but so does Brandon Gonzalez. Who gets out of this corner better? It's McCurry. So Gonzalez, the tough part for Gonzalez is McCurry's going to run the line he wants to run, which will be the fastest way around the racetrack. For Gonzalez, if he gets to McCurry's back bumper, he's got to be unorthodox and try a different entry, a different exit out of a corner. He can't go where the 61's going, or else he's going to be riding on his back bumper the whole race. So Brandon's got to think outside the box of where he's a little bit better than McCrory in a slightly different groove of a turn. The gap that time opened 0.2 between McCrory and Brandon Gonzalez, but closed for Zach Flickinger. He is slowly reeling in the top two, and if these two could start battling amongst themselves, that would even greater the chance of Flickinger making it a three-man fight. They have checked out on 4th place on back. Ryan Madden has now jumped into the 4th position. Henderson into 5th, and Noah Kars, who was running in 4th about a lap ago, is now dropped back into the 6th position and now into the clutches of Kat Tellier and John Arndt. Matthew Dalio there in 9th, and Grayson Acavito moved up to 10th. Michael Norman lost a host of spots. Now, well, no, he didn't. He's in 14th. Who was the driver that lost spots then? Might have been Dylan Young. It was Dylan Young. Dylan Young lost a spot to, I think, both Acavito and Acavito's teammate Leon Alvarez. Dropped himself back to the 12th position, and here's a battle. Michael Norman and Dallas McIntosh, some contact. McIntosh gonna try and cut the course, and that might have cost him a little bit there. He was trying to take the 13th position away from Michael Norman. Grayson Acavito, he's in 10th, he wants 9th. Oh, car in the wall, that was Noah Kars. Kars was running in 6th, and he slipped up in that portion of track we saw Dylan Poteet and Tim Walsh have trouble with earlier, and now he's dropped all the way back now, I believe, to the 9th position. So John Arndt, Kat Tellier, they picked up a couple of spots there off of the mistake. Oh my goodness, we got a battle for the lead. Brandon Gonzalez has taken the lead. Flickinger moving to 2nd. McCrory now dropping back to 3rd with 3 laps to go. Now it gets interesting. Gonzalez to the point. Flickinger trying to clear for 2nd. He hasn't cleared McCrory yet. Now he will. And now he sets his sights on Brandon Gonzalez. Now, keep in mind, Gonzalez and McCrory are former winners this season. They're both inside the top 30 in the points. So a win for either one of them is not really going to affect having 16 winners in the current chase grid. But if Flickinger is able to pick up a win here, then that would be 16 drivers in the 16 spots in the current chase for the championship. Oh boy, and I just noticed something else too. Slower car of Zachary Fitzwater, last car on the lead lap, could be a factor in the outcome of this race. Could. Won't. Not necessarily will be, but could. We have another driver behind the wall as well. Emmanuel Hartnett has called it a day in the 97 car. So 39 cars on the racetrack, 38 on the lead lap. Zachary Fitzwater, the last car on the lead lap. We saw him just moments ago. And Flickinger is closing the gap between himself and Brandon Gonzalez. We could have another battle for the lead here. Oh, careful through this corner. All 3 make it. And here comes Flickinger. He's on the back door, and he's going to move to the left side. That's not the preferred line, but he's trying to make it work. Oh, beating and banging, rubbing doors. All in a battle for the lead here at Yas Marina Circuit. Who gets through this corner correctly? McCrory tries up the middle. Holy cow, this is great. Couldn't make it happen, though. McCrory slips back into 3rd. Flickinger back into 2nd. Gonzalez in the lead. They'll all take a deep breath and try again at some time. 2 laps to go. Flickinger has lost some ground now to Brandon Gonzalez. 2 to go there as they just hit the stripe. Question as well, can they make it on fuel? This is going to get really good. The top 3 are separated by less than 1.2 seconds. All 3 have a shot of winning. Will it be Gonzalez? Will it be Flickinger? Will it be McCrory? Now Flickinger has closed the gap up again on Brandon Gonzalez. McCrory again waiting in the wings to see what happens. Ryan Madden has managed to really gap himself in the 4th position, so looks like that's where he will finish if he doesn't run into trouble in the closing 1.5 laps. Gonzalez still leading. Flickinger trying to find a moment to be able to pounce. He was able to pounce in the latter portion of this track. He's trying it again, closing the gap. Will he make a move? He gets a nice run through that corner. Here he comes around the outside, and Flickinger goes to the lead. Nice move in one of the toughest places of the track to maneuver. Flickinger to the point. Now Gonzalez, who was the hunted, now becomes the hunter. Switches roles with Flickinger. McCrory, don't count him out yet. He's still waiting to see what happens with these two. Oh, Gonzalez slips up! Gonzalez slips up, and he may have just taken himself out of the win. Oh, he just messed up in that portion of the racetrack. And now Flickinger could be home free, but he's still got McCrory trying to reel him in. It's shades of Lime Rock from last year. Oh, Fitzwater had to really slow up through that corner, but so did McCrory. So the gap will probably remain the same, and these two will head down here into the final portions of the track, and they will both see the white flag. Who will it be? Think back to Lime Rock Season 1. Zachary Fitzwater bested Anthony McCrory. Can McCrory repay the favor little less than a year later at another road course? White flag displayed. They'll be able to make it on fuel, apparently. Flickinger takes the white. 2.3 seconds over Anthony McCrory. Brandon Gonzalez, what a heartbreak for him. Looks like he'll have to ride around to finish 3rd. Ryan Madden there in 4th, and Kat Tellier has fought her way up now to the 5th position. Aaron Henderson may have something to say about that, though, on this final lap. Oh, Flickinger may not want to look in his rearview mirror. McCrory is possibly going to reel him in. We could have a battle for the win before they get to the checkered flag. McCrory is trying, but the gap is quite large between himself and Flickinger. He needs Flickinger to mess up. Now coming into the second half of the road course. This is the treacherous area. Flickinger's been able to maneuver it well the past 2 times. It was in this portion right here he took the lead away from Brandon Gonzalez. McCrory's within striking distance if Flickinger makes a mistake. Oh man, we saw 2nd place Brandon Gonzalez at the time slip up in this portion of the track. Will Flickinger be able to make it through? Right here was where Brandon slipped up. Flickinger keeps it straight, keeps it going. McCrory will do the same. Brandon Gonzalez gets through it as well. I'm sure he'd love to forget that corner of the racetrack. Flickinger, plenty of racing room between himself and McCrory. He's just got to make it here through this tough portion of the track. Right on the rumble strip and through the corner. McCrory does the same. And Zach Flickinger, I don't think there's anything he can do now that'll mess him up. Into the corner, heads through the final few portions of the track, and out of the final corner. Zach Flickinger will capture his 2nd career Hersheys Cup Series win. 1st of the season, he'll take the checkered flag at Yas Marina Circuit. McCrory will finish in 2nd. 3rd place for Gonzalez. Madden will finish in 4th. And 5th place will be rookie Kat Tellier. Henderson gets 6th. Dalio in 7th. Arndt will finish in 8th. Acavito 9th. And his teammate Leon Alvarez will complete the top 10. But for the 2nd time in Hersheys Cup Series history, not only does Zach Flickinger go to victory lane, he goes to victory lane at a road course, and he goes to victory lane with Anthony McCrory finishing in 2nd place. How about that? And now Zach Flickinger adds his name to the list of drivers who want to make it into this season's chase for the championship. And as things stand, based on the current unofficial points, 16 of the 16 spots in the chase for the championship are held by race winners this season. And that's not even counting Joshua Circuli and Kyle Keith. So my prediction has come true. The final 3 regular season races will be coming down to drivers with wins this season, trying to finish the best they can in the point standings to have a shot at being in the chase for the championship. Per my prediction, I believe that race winners this season will miss the chase for the championship, regardless of the fact of it growing to a 16-driver chase here in Season 2. Standings are not yet official. We're still waiting on some stragglers, including Sean Galligan, Zachary Fitzwater, drivers who were at the tail end of the field to cross the line. And I think we're going to have quite a wait. Nope, they are now official. So we gave you the top 10. Michael Norman will finish 11th, Dylan Young 12th, Noah Carr, as we saw the slip-up he had, but he battles back still for 13th, Dallas McIntosh 14th, and Kyle Keith will finish the day out in the 15th position. That car started, if I'm not mistaken, back somewhere in 37th, 38th. JT Bryant, Chris Dodd, Austin Mongold, William Brock. That is your top 10 as we look on down through the remainder of the field. 37 cars finished on the lead lap, but only 28 within a minute of the race winner, Zach Flickinger. Joshua Circuli finished a lap down in 39th, and 3 drivers finished out of the race: Emmanuel Hartnett, James Richardson, and Jessica Shelton. Well, what a finish to this race here at Yas Marina Circuit. Came down between 3 drivers: Flickinger, McCrory, and Brandon Gonzalez, and Zach Flickinger was able to get the job done. So congratulations to that team, single car race team out of Flickinger Motorsports, and their second win of the Hersheys Cup Series career. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We'll show you your full finish results once again down through 42nd. End result, Zach Flickinger taking the victory here for the first time in Season 2. Next week, I'm not exactly sure where we're going. I probably should have looked at the schedule before I started recording this race. But anyway, it was a surprise for you guys last week at Salem, so it'll be a surprise for you guys this week of where we're going to be going next. But here come your official rookie points as well as your overall point standings heading into next week's race. Until then, I'm Seth Cole. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its Best. We'll see you guys next week.